Now we're going to give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, and old Jesus be among us. As far as we're concerned, your Jesus is contaminated, just like everything else you tried to force upon us is contaminated. So you can have him. And here's what I'll say. I wish you would follow Jesus like we followed him. Because if you did that, then we'd be in charge tomorrow.
I was made in the image of Yahweh. My spirit Marvin Gaye, heart pump with black power. Way before the days when he tore down the towers. I ain't talking 9/11, Nimrod had the power. That was Shinar. Before that we had the showers. Before Adam got deceived, he said the world was ours. Lost it in a second, cause we bite and we devour. Was given all of the earth and we don't even say the water. Gave us Messiah, we don't even say our Father. We walk down in heaven, so our burdens getting harder. Word to the turbans on our elders with the Taurus, no capping, that's a rap. That how was shy, he died for us. Mamas cried for us, daddies did their best if they survived the whole time. But we the mice, they lied to us. Synagogue of Shaitan on my body and my mind. My soul for Yahweh, my purpose is aligned. This little light of mine running dim, but it shines. The majors of Shaitan pulling at me, but I climb. You're looking at divine, most merciful and beneficent. The sun, moon, and stars, the creator of the firmament. That's why I stay marching to Zion, it's like the tournament. The rounds getting harder, but I still walk the waters. Euphrates and the Nile, the Mississippi River come to me. I will walk across the currents with a smile. That's fake.
How to escape the heat if you don't have an air conditioner. This only takes 5 minutes. Tired of
I'm prepared for the coming.
They want to oppress us, and they want us to allow ourselves to be oppressed.
This is I agree with you perfectly. This is the basic problem.
Then what do you
that white
okay,
people think they're better than
what I can
others?
do. I can't solve the problem. You guys pull the strings that close schools. You guys draw the boundaries that keep our kids restricted to the ghetto. You guys write up the restrictive covenants that keep us out of houses. So it's up to you to talk to your brothers and your sisters and persuade them that they have a responsibility. We've assumed ours for over 400 years, and we're tired tired of this kind of stuff now. We're not going to suffer patiently anymore. No more turning the other cheek. No more blessing our enemies. No more praying for those who despitefully use us. We're going to show you that we've learned the lessons you've taught us. We've studied your history, and you did not take over this country by singing "We Shall Overcome." You did not gain control of the world like you have it now by dealing fairly with man and keeping your word. You're treaty breakers, you're liars, you're thieves, you rape entire continents and races of people. Then you wonder why these very people don't have any confidence or trust in you. Your religion means nothing. Your law is a farce, and we see it every day. You demonstrated it in Alabama, and I can say you because you're part of the whole system. You profit from it. In fact, you make your living from it. You couldn't walk around and talk to people, stand up in your pulpit on Sunday and preach nice little songs and say, now we're going to give thanks to the Lord for he is good and old Jesus be among us. As far as we're concerned, your Jesus is contaminated, just like everything else you tried to force upon us is contaminated. So you can have him. And here's what I'll say. I wish you would follow Jesus like we followed him. Because if you did that, then we'd be in charge tomorrow.
I was made in the image of Yahweh. My spirit Marvin Gaye, heart pumped with black power. Way before the days when he tore down the towers. I ain't talking 9/11, Nimrod had the power. That was Shinar. Before that we had the showers. Before Adam got deceived, he said the world was ours. Lost it in a second cause we bite and we devour. Was given all of the earth and we don't even say the water. Gave us Messiah and we don't even say our Father. We walk down in heaven so our burdens getting harder. Word to the turbans on our elders with the Taurus. No capping, that's a rap. Yahweh Shai, he died for us. Mamas cried for us. Daddies did their best if they survived the whole time. To be the mice, they lied to us. Synagogue of Shaitan on my body and my mind. My soul for Yahweh, my purpose is aligned. This little light of mine running dim, but it shines. The majors of Shaitan pulling at me, but I climb. You're looking at divine, most merciful and beneficent. The sun, moon, and stars, the creator of the firmament. That's why I stay marching to Zion, it's like a tournament. The rounds getting harder, but I still walk the waters. Euphrates and the Nile, the Mississippi River come to me. I will walk across the currents with a smile. That's faith over trials. I still hear Mary and my grandmother telling me I was special as a child, but I was in denial. The killers and the crack addicts made it hard to smile. She know I would repent but keep my drug dealer style. Several gold chains, you can see them from a mile. I'm wild effervescent. I'm proof you can grow through your trials and your lessons, your curses and your blessings if you seek his acceptance.
I need the I need thee. I need thee.
Ya Baraka, Ya Baraka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Waya Shamaka, Waya Shamaka, Yahweh, 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 Hanyawa al Yak, Hanyawa al Yak, Waya Khanka, Waya Khanka, Yahweh. Yahweh, Yasha Yahweh, Yasha Yahweh, Hanyawa al Yak, Hanyawa al Yak, Wayasham, Wayasham, Laka Shalom, Laka Shalom, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yasha Allah, Yasha Allah.
YouTube is the new home of NFL Sunday Ticket. Sign up.
Shalom, shalom. Give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Amashak Yahweh Shai, the word you know is Yahweh, is God. The word you know is Yahweh Shai, is Jesus Christ, right? And we're the Israelites. We come to teach our people week in and week out. And so we're about to get into this Torah portion, right? All praises. So we're on the section of employees, servants, and slaves. And we're on commandment number 188, to pay wages to the hired man at the due time. We're going to bring that from Deuteronomy 24 and 15, Leviticus 19 and 13. Deuteronomy 24 and 15, and Leviticus 19 and 13.
Go ahead, read it.
Okay.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, verse 15. And it reads, At his day thou shalt give him his hair, neither shall the sun go down upon it. For he is poor, and sitteth his heart upon it, lest he cry against thee unto the Lord, and it be sin unto thee.
And it be sin unto thee. So, hey, if you hire somebody, you can't let the sun go down on that. You got to give him his just due, right? Hey, if you pay a man, and that man, if you hire a man, and that man complete that daily due, then hey, you got to go ahead and give that man his hire, right? And then Leviticus 19 and 13.
This book of Leviticus, chapter 19, and verse 13. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him.
Hey, the Most High said that's like robbery, right? Hey, if you hire a man and you don't pay him, that's like robbery. Go ahead, King.
The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning.
In the morning, right? So hey, at the end of the day, hey, you gotta definitely get that man his just dues, right? Hey, you gotta give him his money. You can't die with his money, man, right? And get Jeremiah 22 and 13, right? Because hey, you can't deny that man. You gotta give him what he's owed.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 22, and verse 13. Woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness.
And that goes back to Babylon, right? And they built this whole house on unrighteousness. Let's find out how.
And his chambers by wrong, that useth his neighbor's service without wages.
Without what?
Without wages.
Hey, that's going off, man. You can't use your neighbor's services without wages. Go ahead.
And giveth him not for his work.
Hey, so you got to give him his work, man. You got to give him everything you own. If a man come do work, hey, you got to pay him flat out, right? Hey, Shalom, Princess Dava. Hey, Shalom, Nahum. Hey, Shalom, enough Israel. Right, Yahweh Shem Shai. Right, so hey, you got to give a man what he worth. Right? Anybody got any proof?
Carlson, a very good guy. He's exactly right.
Goddamn devil.
Right? Of course he'll pop up. Right, so then we'll go to the next commandment, to deal judiciously with the Hebrew bondman in accordance with the laws pertaining to him. Exodus 21, verse 2 through 6.
This book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 2. If thou buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing.
For what?
For nothing.
Man, see? Go ahead.
If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself.
Right?
And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever.
Forever, man. So, hey, and that's the rule set of being a slave and a slave owner, right? At the end of the day, hey, you got to abide by the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? Hey, you're going to be your masters if you find it well to dwell with them. Anybody else got anything else on that? So we're going to go to commandment 190, not to compel the heat. You got something to say, bro? I thought that was
Oh no, you good, King. Go ahead, King.
Commandment 190, not to compel the Hebrew servant to do the work of a slave. Leviticus 25, verse 39 and 40.
29.
25, 39 and 40.
Oh, 39. All right. Book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 39. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxing poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bond servant.
He said, if you waxing poor and be sold unto, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bond servant, but what?
But as a hired servant and as a sojourner, he shall be with thee and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee.
Or the 6th year. In the 7th year, he go free. Just like that last commandment said. And Brother Shia brought that out a few weeks ago. Hey, they get it twisted, man, between, being a servant of your brother and being a straight bond man, period, of the other nations. Like, hey,
Come on.
it's a big difference, man. It's wicked. This system, man. Hey, but we're going to commandment number 191, not to sell a Hebrew servant as a slave. Hey, jump down to 42, King.
42, verse 42. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen.
Right? Hey, so you can't sell them as bondmen. So commandment 192, not to treat a Hebrew servant rigorously. One verse down.
Verse 43, thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shalt fear thy God.
And rigor is harshly. So you can't do like what Esau did, them beating somebody like they stole something. Matter of fact, and your brother Hezekiah had a video like that with a sister was on a tree, bound to the tree, and slave master just whipping that whip, just pulling her whole back up. Can't do that to your brother.
Because people don't know the difference between. They don't understand that slave was just a person that worked for his money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he didn't have anything, no, you know what I'm saying? So he worked to feed his family, you know what I'm saying? That would be more like an indentured servant, you know what I mean? More so anyway. You know what I mean? Because his brother was just waxing poor. So that was actually helping that brother. You know what I'm saying? Hey brother, I got some work for you that you can make some money so you can feed your family. You feel me? And we're not supposed to rule over them with rigor. Like we can with the other nations, you know what I'm saying? We had that's a separation right there. You know what I'm saying? The Most High separating how we treat each other versus how we treat the other people. But go ahead, King.
And you're absolutely right. We can't treat our brother and sister like that, right? Right? And jump over to Exodus chapter 1, verse 13 and 14. And this is the difference, like you said, how we're supposed to treat ourselves versus how when we get to the other nations, it don't even matter.
Exodus 1.
Yep, chapter 1, verse 13 and 14.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
Right?
And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
It made it bitter, right?
And order.
Yep.
and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field.
And that's same. We're in the same bondage. We're in the same bondage, doing the same thing with rigor in all fields. Right, watch, keep going.
All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
And that's for everything, even going to work. Like you always say in Amazon, you working your butt off. Me at the lab working my butt off. Bros driving trucks. Guess what? You got to not only drive the truck, but when you get to your destination, what else y'all doing?
Hey, we had to unload and
Come
you know what I mean? You talking to bro?
both of y'all.
Yeah, God.
Come on.
And Salakia, King. So when I used to be in the moving business, you know what I'm saying? Look, we were the brothers, the Hispanic and the so-called Hispanic and the so-called blacks was the ones that had to do the hard labor. The Edomites, they used to get the desk job. They used to get the management position. When I was, I had more knowledge and understanding of everything with customer service awards and everything, right? But yet they wanted me to do the hard labor and gave them the lazy ones, the ones that didn't even know anything, gave them the position to not serve as hard. You understand? But and listen, that's their brother. So you know what I'm saying? Hey, Esau know to keep that law. You know what I'm saying? We got to start doing it for our own people. We want to invite everybody into our kingdom. Okay, King.
And you're absolutely right. But that's what I love about that scripture, though, because it says, wherein they made them serve was with rigor, like everything. All their service wherein they were made to serve was with rigor. And that's now everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everything you do is with rigor. You don't get a job that's not with rigor.
Nope.
Let's look up that word rigor real quick. Let's look up that word rigor. That's crazy, man. Rigor is just not a normal everyday word.
Nah.
Yeah, King, and that's the thing. Like you look at the who do the hard labor. Look at who do the hard labor, bro. You see Jake. Jake out there sweating bullets, man, doing the hard labor. You know what I mean? You got our so-called Mexican brothers, the tribe of Issachar. What they doing, King? They in the fields busting their behinds off.
Yep.
You understand? And on these roofs, putting shingles up. You know what I'm saying?
Like rigor, the quality of being extremely thorough, exhaustive, or accurate, severity or strictness, rigors, demanding.
King, it says severely.
Hey,
Salakia.
go ahead, King.
No, Salakia, bro. It says severely. Hey, read that part one more time, King. Salakia.
It says the quality of being extremely thorough, exhaustive, or accurate.
Extremely.
Strictness, demanding, difficult, or extreme conditions. Damn, brother.
You see that? See, I don't even think. See, it's on the paper. Jake got to see it firsthand. I mean, he should be able to see it firsthand. But I don't even think they understand what he mean when he say rigorously. They were working rigorously. Like the Egyptians made us serve with rigor. I don't even think they understand how bad it was. It had to be bad because they cried out to the Lord for this, for mercy. Man. You understand? So, and like we're doing today. You understand? So, man, that's crazy.
That's deep, man. So that rigor, and like we said, we know this is spiritually Sodom and Egypt, so we're still being made to do that same rigor, right? So, man, all praise to the Most High. So the next commandment, 193, not to permit a Gentile to treat harshly a Hebrew bondservant to him. Leviticus 25:53. Hey, and that goes back to slavery. Mm-hmm. How they was treating our people. He said, "You a Gentile, you can't treat harshly a Hebrew bondman," but they did. That's why when the Most High come judge this place, hey, it's going to be a righteous judgment.
I'm gonna get a precept on that when you're done, King.
Leviticus 25:53.
Yeah.
This book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 53. And as a yearly hired servant shall he be with him, and the other shall not rule with rigor over him in thy sight.
Right? Over him in thy sight, right? All right, go ahead, King.
You gotta keep going.
No, bro said he had a precept.
Salakia, King. No, go ahead, King. Go ahead. Don't worry about it.
Hey, he said flat out, hey, you cannot treat him wrong and rule over him with rigor, man. So, hey, that just goes to show when this place get judged, it's for the reason.
It said, Salaki, it said not to permit a Gentile to treat harshly.
Yeah.
So, so like the brother would always say, when you see your brother being mistreated, it's a commandment for you to step in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's a commandment. We've been so discontinued from our heritage, we'll see a police officer harassing one of our brothers, and we'll stand by idle, until the breath is out of them. So they, choke the life out of them.
Right.
But that still is it like judgment or chastisement.
Yeah.
Right? Is it from the Lord? You know it's from the Most High. Yeah. It's a judgment or chastisement. But who is the Lord's?
The other nations.
Yeah.
Mainly the chief culprit. In Deuteronomy 83. So
hey, Salaki, you know what? I gotta pull it. Okay, when y'all done? Go ahead, King. I'm gonna pull it real quick.
Right.
Y'all ready? Oh, you ready? Okay, Con. Zechariah 1 verse 15. It says, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forwarded the affliction. You know what I'm saying? So look, the Most High was he was displeased with us, of course, and he sent them against us, but they forwarded the affliction. Like they put it on, they made the affliction even worse. Like, nobody did more wicked than the Edomites, man. Had the raping our children, you know what I mean, and castrating us. You know what I mean? Like having our people, like a lot of our native brothers, hung them upside down and ripped the babies out of their stomach and then smashed the babies. Like, man, they just fed our babies to alligators. Hey, bro, that was the most wicked you could ever do, man, to anybody. Like a regular human shouldn't even have the heart to do those things. But hey, that's how it is, man.
And that's wicked, man. That's so wicked. But hey, he gave the earth to the hand of the wicked, so they doing their job. We got to just coming back to our heritage, right? So commandment number 194 and 195. Now 194, not to send away a Hebrew bondservant empty-handed when he is free from service. 195, to bestow liberal gifts upon the Hebrew bondservant at the end of his term of service. And the same should be done to a Hebrew bondwoman. Deuteronomy 15, verse 13 through 14. Deuteronomy 15, verse 13 and 14.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 15, and verse number 13. And it reads, and when thou sendest him out free from thee, thou shalt not let him go away empty. Verse 14, thou shalt furnish him liberally out of the flock, and out of thy floor, and out of thy winepress, of that wherewith the Lord thy God has blessed thee, thou shalt give unto him.
Hey, and that's just righteous, man, like the Most High is telling you. And you could even go up that's it.
So Lakia, see, this is supposed to be a so-called Christian country, right? So I guess they was trying to heed to this when they said that they were going to give us 40 acres of the mule, right? But hey, look, they sent us away with nothing, man. They sent us away because they wanted us to come back. Our people had to actually come back to slavery because they couldn't eat and they were scared. They didn't know what to do. You understand? That's
That's right.
You're absolutely right, bro. But hey, Most High put that in them that, hey, don't do it. So they can continue to transgress the law and continue to go further in the sin. Because we know they can't repent.
Right.
So they just continue to pile up that debt. That sin debt is up to the ceiling, man. Right?
Come on, King.
they're gonna go ahead and get judged for that.
And that's the Most High heart in their heart for that. He did that.
Just like he did Pharaoh.
That's right, King. That's right. He hardened his heart, so they can't do. Listen, they're not. If they give us money as far as reparations, they give us it in money or finances. Then guess what? The money gonna fail. You understand? The money's not gonna be worth a damn thing.
It's not.
That's just how it is. And it's already falling.
It's falling. Right? So, Commandment 196, 197, and 198. 196, to redeem a Hebrew maidservant. 197, not to sell a Hebrew maidservant to another person. And 198, to espouse a Hebrew maidservant. Exodus 21, verse 8 through 9.
Con, I read it, King. In Salakia, or Exodus chapter 21 and verse 8. It reads, if she please not her master, who have betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed. To sell her unto a strange nation, he shall have no power, seeing he have dealt deceitfully with her. And keep going, King.
Yep.
Verse 9. And if he have betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. Verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall be he not diminish. And verse 11.
He might as well do it.
And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money.
Hey, so the Most High saying basically it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you a bound woman and the master lay down and marry this woman, hey, you gotta treat her as if she was a wife. Not as a bond servant no more. So hey, you gotta respect it, man. Most High do everything in a righteous manner, so hey, all praises. So Commandment 199, to keep the Canaanite slave forever. Leviticus 25:46.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 46. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor.
Hey,
there'll go another separation.
Another separation.
No, we all equal. Where's that at in the scriptures?
It's not there.
Hey, where in the scriptures do it tell us that we're supposed to treat the other nations like we treat ourselves? Where is that in the scriptures?
It's not.
Right. And Salakia, somebody brought up one not too long ago. A Christian brought this up. He said, "Well, the Bible said that he don't God don't what do you say he don't how you say it, man? In judgment, you know, he's fair in judgment or something like that. So basically, he's saying he don't have no how you say it, King? Help me out, y'all. My mind going right now.
You said he
what the scriptures say? In judgment,
righteous.
he right. Well, we know his judgments are righteous. Like he don't prefer one over the other in judgment.
Oh, he don't take favor.
Right, basically in judgment. Because either way, if you sin against the Lord in any way, and but he was talking about in our land, like if the stranger or the heathens, when they were in our land, if they committed something like say adultery or something like that, what was the judgment for that?
Put to death.
To be put to death. If a stranger do it or we do it, what was if the Israelite did it? What was their judgment?
Put to death.
There you go. It's the same thing in our land. If we go off, rather we commit sin or the heathens, we all get punished the same,
The same.
right? Absolutely. That's all I had to say, King.
And because the Most High said flat out, like you said, he don't show favor. You know what I'm saying? He's not partial in judgment. So, hey, all praise to the Most High for that, man.
Khan, that's what I meant to say, King Khan.
Man, he's going to give you everybody the same business. He's not double-minded. So commandment number 200, not to surrender a slave who has fled to the land of Israel to his owner who lives outside of Palestine. And commandment number 201, not to wrong such a slave. Deuteronomy 23:15-17.
Khan. You said Deuteronomy 21, verse 15.
15-17.
23, Salakia. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 15. And it reads, Salakia, thou shalt not deliver unto his master the servant which is escaped from his master unto thee. Ye shall dwell with thee even among you. Salakia, he shall dwell with thee even among you, in that place which he shall choose in one of thy gates, where it liketh him best. Thou shalt not oppress him. Verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
Hey, so he's saying, look, just because they're your slave don't mean you can wrong them.
Right. He said, hey, because that was the thing. If they escape from their master, then you got, you know what I mean? Then you gotta dwell with you.
Yeah.
So like, can I read that one more time, King? Because I kind of was going. So like, Deuteronomy 23:15. Thou shalt not deliver unto his master the servant which is escaped from his master unto thee. So so basically it's saying, like, if a servant escaped from one master unto thee, right? This is what he's saying, verse 16. He shall dwell with thee even among you in that place which he shall choose in one of thy gates, where it liketh him best. Thou shalt not oppress him. All right, so I just want to bring that out one more time.
You got to treat them properly.
Con.
Right, so, hey, all praises. So, commandment number 202, which is the last commandment in this section, right? That of employing servants and slaves, not to muzzle a beast while it is working in produce, which it can eat and enjoy. So like, hey, you got a damn oxen, and he in the field, but he can't eat none of the field. Deuteronomy 4, that's wicked.
Yeah, come. Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 4. Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn. That's wicked, man. That's evil.
Come on, man. You can't, man. So that's it on that section. We'll get a few out of this next section.
Yeah, it's only 5 or 6.
Yeah. Vows and oaths. That commandment number 203, that a man should fulfill whatever he has uttered. Deuteronomy 23:23.
Salakia, King. I was actually getting a precept on that. Hold up. Deuteronomy 23 and 3.
Yeah. 23:23.
All right. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 23. It says, that which is going out of thy lips, thou shalt keep and perform, even a free will offering, according as thou hast vowed unto the Lord thy God, which thou hast promised with thy mouth.
Hey, he's saying when you vow a vow, you're not vowing to that person. You vow. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Hey, Matthew 12:36. That's crazy, bro. You're not bounded to your brother. You're bounded to me. Whenever you say
That's
it,
right.
don't even say it.
Come on, brother. Matthew chapter 12, verse 36.
Yep, come on, and read through 37.
Come on. Matthew chapter 12, verse 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment.
Right? Hey, so all Yahweh was doing just, you know what I'm saying, reiterating the commandments. Watch, go ahead.
There you go, man. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned.
Because they even saying something wicked is a vow. So you saying something wrong about your brother on that end, that's a vow.
Mm-hmm.
Because you meant that in your heart. That's why I wish I said that. So hey, all praise to the Most High. Commandment 204, not to swear needlessly. Hey, people say, I swear on God. God, yo, I swear God. Hey, he said, why is you doing that? You don't need to do all that. Just say what you're going to do. That's why he said, let your yea be your yea, your nay be your nay.
Right.
You ain't got to do all that.
God. Exodus chapter 20, verse 7.
27.
Exodus 20, verse 7.
Oh, 20 and 27.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. And that's a commandment.
It's a commandment.
Well, we know we know the commandments, so that's one of the commandments.
Just say what you're gonna say.
And that's the first 3 commandments.
Man,
that's one of the first 3 commandments.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Right? So commandment 205, not to violate an oath or swear falsely. Leviticus 19 and 12.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 12. Leviticus 19 and 12. And ye shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord.
And he says, you should not swear by my name. Hey, yo, God, I swear I'm God. And then you don't do it. Oh, man. You done broke 2 commandments right there. You done broke a vow and you done sworn his name falsely. That's 2 quick commandments you done broke into one. Dang. Commandment number 206, to decide.
Hold on, King. I'm gonna get that in Matthew 5 and 33 too. Matthew chapter 5 verse 33. Matthew 5 verse 33. Again, ye have heard that it had been said by them of old time, thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto the Lord thine oaths. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Neither shalt thou swear by thy head, because thou canst not make one hair white or black. But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. For whosoever is more than these, for whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil.
Because if you can't just say it flat out, then you're gonna end up.
You know what's something else coming in.
Come on, bro.
There you go. You already know.
Yes, man. All praise to the Most High. That was a mighty precept, King. Commandment number 206, to decide in cases of annulment of vows according to the rules set forth in the Torah. Numbers chapter 1 through 6, chapter 30, verse 1 through 16.
Numbers chapter 30, starting at verse 1. Numbers chapter 30, verse 1. And Moses spake unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, this is the thing which the Lord hath commanded. If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth. If a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth. Oh, you want me to keep going, King?
Yep.
Oh, that
Yep.
was it. Okay, fine.
Yep.
Okay, because this is important, right? Because
Yeah.
go watch this. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna start at 3 again. And if a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow, and her bond within she have bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherein she has bound herself, her bound her soul shall stand. Keep going, King.
Yep. Con.
Okay. But if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth, not any of her vows or of her bonds wherein she had bound her soul shall stand, and the Lord shall forgive her because her father disallowed her.
Hmm.
And Salakia, that's the power that the father had at one point, right?
Yeah.
And this is why this world is so wicked now, because first of all, our men are not being men like we should, right? And because we're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. He's talking about men that's keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? And if a daughter made a vow to the Lord and the father in the father's house and he heard it, then he can tell her, no, that vow, that vow ain't gonna stand. You know what I'm
Con.
saying? And the Lord will forgive her for her vow. You understand? And I guess it will get into the husband too. Okay, King.
Yep.
You want me to keep going, King?
Yeah.
Khan.
That whole chapter. Yep.
Oh, Khan. Okay, all praises. Verse 6. And if she had at all a husband, see, they tell you don't need no man today, right?
Yep.
And if she had at all a husband when she vowed or uttered aught out of her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband heard it and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vow shall stand. And if her bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand, Salakia, then her vow shall stand, and her bonds wherein she have bound her soul shall stand. Verse 8. But if her husband disallowed her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she had vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul of none effect, and the Lord shall forgive her. But every vow of a widow and of her that is divorced, wherewith they have bound their soul, shall stand against her. And if she vow in her husband's house, or bound her soul by a bond with an oath, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her, and disallowed her not, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband hath utterly made them void on the day he heard them, then whatsoever proceeded out of her lips concerning her vows, or concerning the bond of her soul, shall not stand. Her husband hath made them void, and the Lord shall forgive her. Every vow and every binding oath to afflict the soul, her husband may establish it, or her husband may make it void. But if her husband altogether hold his peace at her from day to day, then he establishes all her vows or all her bonds which are upon her. He confirmeth them because he held his peace at her in the day that he heard them. But if he shall anyways make them void after that he have heard them, then he shall bear her iniquity. You heard that?
Con.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, verse 16. These are the statutes. Oh, Salaki. That's it, right, King?
That's
yeah,
deep,
King. All right, because I wanted to read that again, right? God.
Let me start 14.
Con, brother. I'm gonna start at 14 again. Numbers chapter 30 and verse 14. But if her husband altogether hold his peace at her from day to day, then he establishes all her vows or all her bonds which are upon her. He confirmeth them because he held his peace at her in the day that he heard them. So if you don't say anything about the bond that she made, if you don't say nothing within you know what I mean, in a period, then you affirm her you confirm her bond. You
Con.
understand? You know, so if you don't say anything, it's confirmed. You can't change it up later because now it's going to be on you. Let's read it.
Come on now.
It says, but if he shall in any ways make them void after that he have heard them, then he shall bear her iniquity.
Mm. Mm.
So, hey, so when you're in your rib, make a vow to the Lord that you not, you know what I mean, that you don't agree with. You know what I mean? You better get on that thing quick. We're good, King.
You're right too. So, hey, commandment number 207, not to break a vow. Numbers 30:3.
Numbers chapter 30 and verse 3. Numbers chapter 30, verse 3. If a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house. We read that one, didn't we, King?
I know, right? Is it Numbers?
Yeah, it's Numbers 30 and 3. That's 207?
Yep, that's 207.
Yeah,
So then
208.
208,
We'll go
to
208.
swear by his name truly, Deuteronomy 10 and 20.
Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 20. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 20. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God, him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave, and swear by his name.
Yeah, so only swearing you should be doing is when you swearing to do all that he told you to do.
Gone.
Hey,
And then that gone, brother. Gone.
right? And the last one in this section, vows, oaths, and swearing. Commandment 209, not to delay in fulfilling vows or bringing vowed or free will offerings. You have
Gone.
that thing, Deuteronomy 23 and 22 through 23.
Deuteronomy. Gone. Deuteronomy chapter 22. Number
23.
23, verse 22. But if thou shalt forbear to vow, it shall be no sin in thee. That which is gone out of thy lips, thou shalt keep and perform, even a free will offering, according as thou hast vowed unto the Lord thy God, which thou hast promised with thy mouth.
So he said, if you don't promise nothing, it ain't nothing against that. But if you do, you got to fulfill it. Hey, Con, with that being said, hey, all praise Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah. All
All
praise.
praise.
Hey, according to the law, statutes, and commandments, man. And with that being said, hey, doing all honor, glory, and praise. Want to do the three Shemars? And that thing.
So, Lucky, I'm gonna bring out this one, this real quick, King. Psalms
Yeah.
Psalms 119, and I'm gonna go to 113. I hate vain thoughts, but Salakia. I hate vain thoughts, but thy law do I love. And I just want to bring that out, King. That's on Psalms 119 and 113.
Oh man, I love Psalms 119. Shema, Shema, Yasharala, Yasharala, Yahweh, Yahweh, Elohai, Yahweh, Elohai, Yahweh, 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 Okay. Shema, Shema, Yasharala, Yasharala, Yahweh, Yahweh, Elohai, Yahweh, Yahweh,
Akan Shema Yashurala Yahweh Elohai Yahweh Akan
I'm gonna say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Men repeat after me. Abanawa,
Shabbat
Shemayim,
shalom.
Yahweh, Malawaka, Ratazaka, Haya, Hasha, Marataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Lakam, Kayawam, Wasalaknawa, Kawawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawawaknawa, Wala'a, Bayanawa, Sayawam, Awashinawa, Ayan, Ra, Kaya, Amalakwa, Wahala, Wahaparat, Lawalamyam,
Oh, praises. Hey, so hey, y'all have a blessed Shabbat. Shalom.
Shalom.